Peace and love reflections. How are we doing today? Oh, before we start, let's take a look. It's a clear day today. Sending light and good vibes all your way. Take a peek before we start this day. Start this video. I just want to make sure everyone comes in and catches a nice vibe. Catch the vibe. How's it feeling? Good. Alright. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes today. Today, we're going to talk about spirituality versus religion and what that really means and what the difference is between the two, because there's a great deal of understanding that has to go into the things that separate being spiritual versus being religious. So today we're going to dive in a little bit and have this conversation. So first thing we have to realize is that when we look at religions, right, first of all, they're all based on certain ideologies, right? But what those ideologies were trying to do, was group everyone. Group everyone to certain times, dates, things of this nature. That is essentially the essence of religion. Like we talked about before, when I said religion, you think about relativity, you think about communion. So it's trying to have everyone in relation to a certain ideology, goal, thing of this nature. Now, spirituality, on the other hand, is something that's more individualized, right? Spirituality is when you talk about Sufism, when you talk about certain gurus, when you talk about things of this nature, they go by spirituality, not by religion. Because with each different breakdown, these people all had different ways that they expressed their spirituality or expressed their appreciation, because really religion and spirituality is just the expression of your appreciation for a creator, a divine creator, a higher being that created or controlled this. No matter how you break it down, it's just the rituals that were created. Some rituals were created by other people, yet some rituals you create for yourself. That's how you understand the difference between religion and spirituality. Religion is like, okay, I go into school and my teacher has a lesson plan for me, and this is how I get it done, right? Spirituality is like, okay, I'm at home, let me put together my day. When you see the essential difference there, it's where you place the power, right? Spirituality becomes more about self-appreciation, self-motivation. What do you move to do? What do you move to show as your spirituality? What is your spirituality and how do you express that? When religion is using someone else's ideas, someone else's notion of spirituality to try and help you interpret your feeling about the all, right? Because in a sense, everyone has some way they're interpreting the all. She's reflection. I miss you too. Everyone has their own way of interpreting the all and their own way of expressing their love, because once you hit bliss, that's what we're trying to do, right? The universe is just trying to show its creation bliss. Like, you're trying to feel bliss within the creation of the universe. So however you attain that is essentially a spiritual act, right? If someone is a fantastic cook, right, and whenever they cook they're so happy and they're emitting this positive frequency, this vibration, that is a spiritual act in itself. And you can see why some fantastic cooks have a spiritual way of talking about how they cook their meals, about how they express the way they cook their meals. So everyone has to be their own chef. Now, religion helps give you some concepts, some ideologies on moral background, like moral backing, things that is partially where you can find religion. But even in religion, sometimes we find that there's a disconnect, right? There are these, like, you can go into the Old Testament of the Bible and find some that doesn't really make sense, right? But because there's a certain point where that's supposed to stop. That's supposed to be a one-stop shop to help you relate to a certain group of people. Relativity, religion, right? We're breaking down these words. So if I'm always doing these things relatively with the same group of people, that's my religious belief. That's how I get down, right? So with your spirituality, it's okay to be spiritual, right? It's okay to be spiritual. Spiritual is more about experience. It's about dragging experience through life. Okay, I experienced this, now I learned from this, now I can become more full. Religion is more like I can't do this, I can't do that, and holding yourself out, right? So who gains the more knowledge in a sense? The person who never tries, so never understands the feeling of those things, or the person who tries it, learns from it, and then doesn't follow it again? So these things are where we have to start to rationalize and understand the difference between spirituality and religion. Because you have religious people who don't like spiritual people who have problem with religious people, when they're all just trying to do the same thing. But some people just have a different understanding of, again, the consciousness that goes into it. When you understand the consciousness of spirituality, you understand that it's supposed to be fine-tuned to you, right? You're supposed to find your own spiritual matters. You're supposed to find your own spiritual totems, the things that you do, your own rituals, and create your rituals that give you that feeling, that lead you to a creator. Now, there are some set things that can help you along the way. There are tools within it, right? Meditation, things of this nature are tools within the big picture of spirituality, within the notion of spirituality, within the notion of religion, right? Praying and meditation are the same thing, they just switch the word up, right? Because if I'm meditating deeply on the things that I should be doing positively, do I really need to be like praying and sending my energy out to this albeit thing? That's me, right? I am God, right? They create a separation in religion so that they could help tell you how to be spiritual, and that's the major problem. That's why every religion has to attack people who are spiritual, call them Gentiles, pagans, all these different things, because once you start to really think about it, you're supposed to interpret God in your own way. Everyone's perception is different. So if my perception is different than everyone else's, it's supposed to be on my interpretation of this being, not on a general consensus population interpretation on that being, right? How does it become real to me? Because we talked about reality. How does it become real to I? It becomes real to I, right, once I put my own perception and interpretation on this thing, right? So these are the things that we have to start to understand. Start to understand that spirituality is about you, how you interpret the all, how you interpret this greater creation. Because if you really look at it, we're all made of A's, C's, T's, and G's. We're all made of the same divine coding, right? So if we're all made of the same divine coding, you, in a sense, are just as spiritual, just as religious, just anything as the person next to you. But it's how you choose to express it, what you do to show your expression, your gratitude, and things of this nature, right? And as long as you're happy within your expression, right, then you're moving and leveling up. As long as you're seeking understanding within your expression, you're moving up. You're expanding consciousness within your expression. You're leveling up, because these are things that come with that idea of understanding everything is universal, right? So once I start to try and even grasp that we're all made by one creator, I have to start to understand the level up. I have to start to understand this notion that we are all the one. And once I know we are all one, then my spirituality becomes even easier, right? I get to see someone else as my reflection, get to see someone else as me. The problem with religion is it's separative, right? And that's my major problem with the religions, is they create words for people who don't follow that same religion, which means that you're supposed to ostracize. I'm supposed to heathen, you're a Gentile, you're this, you're that. No, we're all one. So it's about treating them as everyone as such, and hoping that they see the beauty in how you express your love, and make them question how they're expressing their love for the Creator. Not like we're in teams and cliques, right? We're not Democrats and Republicans. We're not this and that. Some people express their love through doing tarot. They do things of this nature. They do Wicca. They do all these different things, but within all of those understandings, within all of those backgrounds, when you really read into what they're doing, it's just a way of expressing their gratitude towards the Creator, towards this albeit Creator being the rule setter of the dimension, right? The rule setter of this realm. So we have to start to ease off of a lot of these names, these ways of looking at things, because we're all supposed to be spiritual. We're all supposed to be spiritual. right? Muslims don't like Sufis. Why? Because you think of a Sufi, they don't really follow by a specific religious order. They just do their thing. They're just out here. They're out here with a mindset to gain knowledge, gain consciousness, and within that interpret. Within that interpret what these things mean. Interpret how it expressed through them. And that's where I feel like you find the greatest connection with the people, right? The greatest connection with the people has not come from religious leaders, essentially. It's come from spiritual people, spiritual beings make the greatest connection to your everyday person. Because if you look at society today, we're not following religion. And most of us aren't even following spirituality. But the second you have someone give you their interpretation of spirituality, their interpretation of things, it changes and puts the light bulb on. And that's what we need to start to focus on more. We need to start to all focus on how to show appreciation and gratitude in our day-to-day basis towards the creation that's in front of us. What is the creation in front of you? How do you show your gratitude? How do you show your appreciation for the creation that is placed in front of you? What is the way that you do this? Because in that is the true beauty of this thing. It's not about being spiritual or religious in a sense. Those things don't really mean much. It's about your gratitude within it. Your gratitude. It's if you're being within it. If I'm being within my gratitude for this all being creator, right? If I'm being within my gratitude, then that's proper, right? Because if you look at when we break down all of these prophets, when you break down any prophet within the religions, they followed a law, right? But they didn't follow a church. All of them had problems with the setup structure, that's why they went in to change it. They were considered the radicals that time. That's why I did a video, is that all these prophets and stuff in their time period were seen as like demonic type figures. They were cast out, right? So when you view that, you see what is the perception of God and the devil in a sense. They're all, when you really break it down, there's no such being, because the devil was created by God in a sense. So it's just an expression of a thought process. It's a carelessness about life that makes someone more of a demonic being, and someone who understands the unity that makes someone an angelic being, because we're all created by the same genetic DNA coding, right? If we're all made by the same thing, we are all one. So I should never section out thy neighbor. There shouldn't even be a word for anyone other than me that separates me from a belief, because we should all be together in all the similar belief. We're all created. So because we are all created, we should appreciate a creator and the creator, whether that be the divine female, whether that be the all who created this whole entire universe, whatever you consider that, right? So with religion versus spirituality, do not get caught up in the battle. Do not get caught up in these false mantras. Do not get caught up in these things. Be spiritual in your day-to-day. Make your religion showing appreciation and gratitude for all of you, right? Because if my neighbor is made of A's, C's, T's, and G's, so is the plant, so is the animal, all these things, and I should show gratitude towards myself. If there's part of me in all these things, I show gratitude towards myself. That's why it doesn't make sense that we can have religions, things that still practice eating meat, that still practice doing these things, because now you're not showing gratitude towards yourself. I'm created of A's, C's, T's, and G's. So if an animal is A's, C's, T's, and G's, part of me is within that animal, so now I am hating myself for killing the animal. Now these are notions that for a lot of people are just, they've heard this a lot. For some people it's foreign, but we have to understand the view. The view is the thing that we have to see. These little intricacies of life, right? These little intricacies of real genetic coding. There's nothing that can give you the right to kill something. No one gives you the right to kill something. There's no reason to. There's no logical reason for death and for the taking of one's life, because now you're taking the role of the creator. And is that your role? No matter what the being is, whether it's a person or an ant, now you're taking the role of the creator. Who are you to judge when something can live and not? Is that within your realm? Is that within your rights? Human beings were put on this planet to create. That's why when you give us a pen and a piece of paper, we like to draw. We like to write. We like to create things. We naturally don't destroy things. It's not like you give us a piece of paper, we automatically rip it up, right? So we're not created to destroy. So the notion of destroying anything automatically goes against our nature. It goes against who you are. You're a creator as a being, right? That's why you're given a basketball. Like I was given a basketball, I create moves, do all this stuff back in the day. Dude, I was a creator. Whatever you give, that's what you do. You create, right? You don't destroy. You don't destroy. There's no need to destroy first to create. So that's where we have to break down these flawed ideologies about things. The only thing that was given the power to create, even when you destroy, even in the Bible, was the Most High. The Most High, no matter what Bible you look at, He was the one that put the destruction on things. He was the one who sent angels down, did this thing. It wasn't the followers who just decided to go and do. No, it came from above. It was, boom. He did it, and it happened quick, right? So we should not be trying to take that role. That's not our role. Our role is to create. Our role is to take what we have and create with it, and create facility, create things of this nature. That is how you show your appreciation. That's how you show your spirituality. Create something that makes you happy. That's spiritual. That's spiritual. So, with that being said, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let's give you guys one more view. Catch the vibe. Whether you're in a work desk, whether you're out in nature yourself, wherever you are, take a second, appreciate this. Because I appreciate this every morning. I come out and take a deep breath in and look out on this beautiful landscape here. So with that being said, I love you all.